Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
If you don't like that thar language and mature themes, head on over to her very own podcast, Unlocked, where they talk to people about things.
And stuff. And this time, they spoke to voiceover artist Kira Dorian, who was the voice of Yumi in Shadow at the Water's Edge, Lena in The Shattered Medallion, and Alex in Sea of Darkness. We knew that off the top of our head. What did I say?
No, it was just the way you said it. Shadow at the Water's Edge.
I don't know. I'm
as opposed to Shadow at the Cliff's Edge.
Be nice to me. Why are you so mean to me? What are we talking about today, sister?
Man, I don't even know. Oh no, yes I do. We are talking about the differences between hard and easy.
Exactly. We're talking about the difference between senior detective and junior detective. I don't know why I always have to say senior detective first, but I do.
I don't know.
When I'm
That's
saying
why I said
it
it
loud.
hard and easy, because you put it like...
I put junior versus senior.
That's true.
But for some reason I always say senior and junior. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense that I say that. But I do. So there, I guess.
You put seniority first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have now played all but, 3 games on
Maybe.
Senior or / Master Sleuth on our channel. Ransom of the Seven Ships, Stay Tuned for Danger, and
Which,
you haven't
can I
finished,
say?
and Tomb of the Lost Queen.
Tomb of the Lost Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the term senior and junior detective versus amateur and master, right? It's amateur,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it is.
It's like, how dare you? Junior
Yeah.
detective means you at least made detective, right?
Yeah.
So, like, don't be making us feel bad for being quote-unquote amateurs. It's
Yeah.
like, that's
It
a
does-
weird way to label it.
It does feel a little more shamey of having to pick amateur sleuth than like almost everyone I talk to, we all go, oh yeah, no, we just play on junior detective.
Yeah.
Because that's just that's just what you do. You just play on junior. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like I feel like there's a certain amount of everyone thinks senior detective is really hard. Because I think a lot of us had a game where we tried to play senior detective on as kids. And it was
ruined
hard.
for us. Mm-hmm.
And so we just imagined that all senior detective games were going to be that hard. And I'm telling you right now that that ain't it. That ain't it.
It's like, sorry, you're talking about games that ruined it for us, and I'm like, I'm looking at you,
Curse of Blackmore Manor.
thank you, Jesus. My brain was like, Haunting of Castle Device, and I was like, nope. That's not even a game, Ariana. I've been with toddlers. I'm sorry. My brain is not wired right now.
love the invention of that game.
So I'm going to name one of my games that we eventually pitch.
We want to talk about first the difference between, we're going to separate junior and senior and amateur and master for a second. So the difference between senior and junior, I think that any game prior to having a task list, the difference is negligible.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly. Like, there are some games where I literally thought maybe I clicked the wrong one. Treasure in a Royal Tower, I literally had to go back and look at my VOD to make sure I didn't click the wrong one. Because I was like, did I just accidentally play this on Junior Detective? Because I don't think there was anything different about this. Because I was even allowed to ask people for hints.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna tell me to, like, buzz off. So I was like, oh, I'm asking for a hint. And then they were like, yeah, you should just go find Lisa. And I was like, you were not supposed to tell me this.
Right?
You were supposed to tell me I'm a senior detective and I don't need hints.
Exactly.
But then they gave me a hint.
They play real fast and loose with their own self-imposed rules of what constitutes senior and junior detective.
Yeah.
See, even I'm doing it. Like, it's like, can I get hints? Can I use a task list? They're not, they need to have, like, a set.
Yeah. I think
what it entails. In fact, maybe that would have made us all less afraid of senior detective, because it'd be like, oh, yes, so if you play in senior detective, you have these additional obstacles.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just like, I also have a problem where I didn't find any of those puzzles harder.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Treasure in a Royal Tower just doesn't have very many puzzles, I guess.
Yeah.
So, and I just don't remember them on Junior, so maybe they were harder, and I'm just not...
You know, I'm honestly not even remembering them, so they couldn't have been that hard.
Yeah, it's just... Most of that stuff is all so, like, physical and practical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I'm not complaining about the puzzles
yeah.
in that game. That one flows nicely without it.
Yeah. That and Final Scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one.
Down in those, they don't get bogged down in those weird puzzles, like putting food together and shit, so...
Yeah, so I'm just like, I literally could not tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas games like Curse of Blackmore Manor, I could tell the difference. Curse of Blackmore Manor, I literally felt like there were times when I was just like, I do not know what's going on. Yeah. I don't have a task list. I am just completely lost, honestly. I'm just completely lost.
Yeah.
So once you get a task list, I feel like it definitely does get harder on senior.
Yeah, because I feel like the ones where you have a task list that you rely on, it's because it's a really hard narrative to know exactly what you're supposed to do next.
Yeah.
You know?
As opposed to a game like... Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, a Deadly Device I'm playing right now on Master Detective. And I spend half of that time going, okay, so what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, am I still waiting for this piece? Why did I put a cat together? I don't remember because I don't have notes on it.
Ariana, I'm gonna...
Shut up.
It's just for an award at the end. You didn't have to do that. I'm so sorry. That's why I wasn't telling you where the pieces were.
Why didn't you tell me that they didn't matter?
Because you don't like backseat gaming.
Just tell me if it doesn't matter if I'm going crazy trying to find something.
This is a great segue into Amateur versus Master. So, Amateur versus Master, I feel like in those games... Because in Master Sleuth, you get a basic task list. So I feel like, to an extent, those games are a little easier in the way you find out where you're going. Like, Thornton Hall, I was like, okay, when I have this basic task list, this makes the game so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I didn't have that task list, it would have been a much harder game.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the puzzle difference between Amateur and Master Sleuth is huge.
Yeah.
Just gigantic. Almost every single puzzle has a difference in level. Yes. Instead of just a couple puzzles like in Junior and Senior.
Yeah.
Like at Secret of Shadow Ranch, which is just Senior Detective, there are only like 3 or 4 puzzles that have a difference in that change based on Junior or Senior Detective. Whereas Shadow at the Water's Edge, which is that Master Sleuth? Or is that just Senior Detective? But at that point, every single one of those puzzles is harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like...
another one of those playing fast and loose with their own rules. It's like, do the puzzles get harder or not? Well, sometimes some of them do, and sometimes some of them don't. But sometimes all of them do.
Yeah. It's like in some of the games they do. And
so you go into each puzzle like, oh god, is this one gonna be so hard? Is this one gonna be so hard? Nope, this is fucking easy as shit. It's the exact same puzzle.
Mm-hmm. But then, like, Senior versus Master, like, really on... there was one game where there were 3 levels. It's Stay Tuned for Danger. Stay Tuned for Danger has Junior Detective, Senior Detective, and Master Sleuth. Master Sleuth, the only difference between that and Senior Detective is the very end puzzle. I'm probably just going to be playing on Senior Detective because I would rather... Puzzle? The one that the matching puzzle that you're trying to use to get out while Dwayne Powers is coming at you.
There was a matching puzzle?
It's not like matching. It's like one of those, like... I can't explain. I'm very bad at words. One of those ones
where I just, like, click and then sometimes it's like, right and then it'll...
Yes, exactly. Okay. One of those pop-out type things, but it's just with beeps. It's terrible, and it gives you way less time on Master.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, Senior versus Master. I think Senior is harder than Master because of the task list.
Yeah. I suppose. I mean, I don't know, because...
Just being given...
At least in Master, they'll consistently, for the most part... it's a little more solid that the puzzles are all going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Just varying in degrees.
Yeah.
So...
Everything after Danger on Deception Island, I would say Senior Detective is harder.
Yeah.
Once you get to Master Sleuth, just having a task list makes it easier. Just,
I don't know.
In my opinion, specifically, I think Captive Curse was honestly the one that killed me the most. That took me so long on Senior Detective because I had no idea what I was doing. I was missing so many little things because I was getting lost. I had no idea what I needed to trigger. Everyone in chat had to help me because there was like a specific knob I hadn't found on the coffee table.
To be fair, didn't you play Captive Curse on Senior because you were drunk? And chose to do it on Senior, so I feel like that impacted the rest of the game.
Mayhaps.
I don't feel like we can blame the game for that.
That's like
me blaming owls for why I'm so bad at metaphors. Sorry, I've also been watching Community. That's okay. Britta.
What do we think are the hardest games on Senior or Master? I will put in Curse of Blackboard Manor.
Mm-hmm. Shadow at the Water's Edge.
Shadow at the Water's Edge for that fucking nonogram that took me
just for the nonogram.
It took me like an hour and a half on stream.
Mm-hmm.
It legit took me over an hour to do that goddamn nonogram.
Oh, I'm sure. It took me at least an hour, and I was on the easy mode. I can't remember if it's senior or junior.
I can't remember. You know. But yeah. But I honestly think Labyrinth of Lies is the hardest game on any of them.
That's because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. That's very true. But it's
easier for a game to be harder if it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Because the task list, the minimal task list that they give you is incredibly minimal. And then every single one of those puzzles is like harder. Every single one of them. Yeah. And not just harder to a little bit. They're all harder to like times 5.
I hated that game. I felt so dumb doing it on stream. Cause like stream gaming, took over, where you just automatically suck at what you're doing. And then it probably would have already been hard for me because it doesn't make sense to my brain. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Labyrinth of Lies, I think, is just the hardest game on Master Sleuth. Yeah. Because even Sea of Darkness wasn't as hard.
Mm-mm.
Again, it just has to do with the type of puzzles that they choose, I think.
Although, again, doing Sea of Darkness on Master, it was a lot of, wait, what am I doing? Because,
I mean, doing it on Amateur, Sea of Darkness has a lot of, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, but at least you get a more detailed task list and stuff like that.
Yeah, barely. What do we think are the easiest games on Senior or Master? Senior. Now I sound like I'm on Star Trek. I'm Spock. Anything that ends in an OR sounds like or. Sensors.
Sensors.
Senior. Okay, I'm good. I'm here. So I'm just gonna put out Message in a Haunted Mansion, Treasure on Royal Tower, and the final scene. I literally could really not tell the difference at all. And it's partially just that I haven't played them on regular, on Junior in
Nope, regular.
years.
It's regular. Honestly, it's regular and stupid. I feel like that's how they should label them from now on. People working on mid, listen to me.
Yeah.
Regular
and stupid.
Because you have to be stupid to play them on purpose.
No.
Yes,
but
I wholeheartedly believe that.
So are we being stupid?
Yes! I said it before we did it!
Yeah, but it's still fun.
I've been saying this for like a year.
Yeah, whatever. But, and I feel like Stay Tuned for Danger I'm going to have the same kind of deal with. Mm-hmm. All these early ones, it's just like, I don't see a difference.
Yeah, it sort of seems like there was no point to them doing it.
It's like maybe they just didn't think anyone was going to.
Like they just wanted it to they felt like that would lend. Actually, that's really, I think, the reason that they did it, started adding those 2 levels, was because they felt like it legitimized the game more.
Yeah,
you have to know.
It's not just an easy game for girls. There's a hard mode.
They were coming into the industry, like, already being shit on. They tried to sell their stuff to a bunch of other companies to produce, and nobody wanted them because it was aimed for girls. And so they really wanted to legitimize their game. And so they added in these 2 levels, and it's like, oh, see, you can do it really hard, and it's so much harder because, but they knew that none of us would play that. Holy shit, they knew none of us would play it. That's why there's no difference.
Because they knew. They fucking knew. But then, later, they did have to start putting in a difference. Because people started playing it.
That's what happens when people start replaying.
It's a conspiracy.
It is a conspiracy.
Yeah, because it's not until about Curse of Blackmore Manor that it actually starts changing. Yeah,
because that's when we all started actually replaying games. And so for replay value, you have to make sure that you're actually having a difference between the levels.
Yeah, because, like, and again, maybe it's just partially that all of those other ones, maybe we've just played them so many times that it just, we know what's supposed to happen and what needs to trigger. But apparently Message in a Haunted Mansion, I triggered everything so out of order. My audience was just like, chat was like, what? Why is everyone already at the festival, Risa? Yeah. I was like, I don't know, because they are.
What was some game I played recently?
Why have you already had the seance?
I triggered everything completely out of order. I was like, wait, why is that happening now? It's like, why are we talking about this? This happened.
Oh, it was Shattered Medallion. Shattered Medallion, you triggered conversation. You talked to Sunny about things that hadn't happened yet. Oh, it was great.
Then I talked to because I left Kiri.
Yeah, till the very end.
I left Kiri to the end. It was like, she was talking about stuff that happened forever ago. I was like,
oh, it was great.
Oh, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those to me are the easiest. Just ones we've played a lot before, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Well, and then that would explain why I kind of breezed through Shattered Medallion on Master Sleuth.
Yeah.
Because I've played it more than you have.
Yeah. Whereas on
I actually like the game.
yeah, on Amateur Detective or whatever it's called. Whatever the fuck they're called. I don't care anymore. Amateur, there were some things where I took 40 minutes to fucking do that I was just like that goddamn kayak race. The goddamn fucking kayak race. It's because I left it for too long, I think. You did it right after it was given to you, so you were able to get first place quickly, but I took too long to do it, so everyone already had good scores.
No,
that's my excuse.
Okay.
That's my excuse.
All right. I'm down for it. But actually that leads into my pretty much main thesis of the evening, which is...
We're here.
Yeah. It depends on the player. The difference between amateur and junior and master and senior, just going with that wording,
yeah,
is literally a matter of the player. Because just like we were talking about, what took me half the time on master that you did forever on, but then also
so salty.
you end up flying through a bunch of things. So many things took me forever in Haunting of Castle Malloy that you just breezed through.
Well, it's because I literally have the spun to Q will do memorized. That is burned into my memory. The word spun to Q will do. I do not have to do that puzzle because I remember spun to Q will do.
Well, there's that. Okay, and then there's also... I had a weirdly hard time, collecting sheep.
Oh, yeah.
You got it done in, maybe 5 minutes.
I am the sheep whisperer.
The sheep whisperer. For those who couldn't see, that was my flute. That was me being a flute. Anyway, but yeah, no, so it really depends on the player. Just that's why some of us like certain games and some of us like others, is because we're all wired different. That's how brains work. So something's going to be harder for you than it is for somebody else. So honestly, that's why I don't think there's a point in them having levels, because these are already always so varied.
Yeah.
There are some games that are more logic puzzle heavy. There are some games that are more word game heavy, or like freaking Shadow at the Water's Edge, where a majority of the puzzle time is spent doing, number puzzles.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. That's what makes these games so fun, is having all these different flavors of difficulty.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, just play the games however you want to fucking play them, because who fucking cares?
Pretty much. And don't
things are hard for us, and things are easy for us. And
I just want everyone I've heard say, "Oh, I'm such a baby. I still play it all on Junior." Do not feel that way.
Yeah, whoever it was in my stream this week who said that, don't feel that way.
Don't feel that way. Mm-mm. Honestly, we're only doing this to ourselves because we hate leaving things uncompleted. Yeah. At this point.
We're doing this to ourselves because Risa hates leaving things uncompleted, yes.
Well, it's just and also because there is a dearth of, no one has, senior playthroughs up, really,
that's
on
true.
YouTube. So I'm might as well be us.
Well, plus, I have all of these games, so I don't have to spend money on them yet.
Pretty much.
Saving up for the next dating sim. I think that's gonna be my
or
thing.
when we have to buy Midnight in Salem.
Ugh.
When we actually see a trailer. I refuse to spend any money until I see gameplay.
Yeah, until I see any gameplay. I'm going to assume it's a scam.
Yeah, no, not a penny spent until I see gameplay. Because currently all I see is 3D art, 2D art, not any 3D.
And they're redesigning the characters again, which...
And my question is, will Midnight in Salem have an amateur and a master sleuth option? What do we think?
I was gonna make a joke about them leaning into the witch thing and having it be like, some themed name. Master Spellcaster and Hogwarts student, whatever. But,
obviously.
They are clearly leaning away from that now, so...
It's true, they do seem to be.
Which is a real shame, because doesn't everybody have their, Salem witch trials phase as a kid?
I know, right?
Or at least, there's some kids who have that, there's some kids who have their horse phase, there's, everyone's got one of those phases. But I feel like a good majority of girls have a...
Salem witch trial phase. I don't know. We had a lot of phases like that. So, I don't know. But yeah, that's our opinion
on... Leave it.
Yeah, pretty much. On the difference between amateur, junior, senior, and master levels.
Thought we agreed that they're called regular and stupid.
Regular and stupid detectives. If you
regular
guys
and Tino Balducci.
Yes! Nancy and Tino.
For no reason.
If you guys have different opinions, please let us know on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and our fancy website, krolmeistersisters.knifefightclub.com.
You can also find us on, nope, that's not what's called anymore, on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify. And there you can, give us some happy comments that, or reviews. They're called reviews there. Man, I am fucking up all the words tonight. But you can just tell us how much you love us, because you do.
Yeah, you love us. Tell us you love us.
Tell us.
Tell us.
Tell me I'm pretty.
You can also subscribe to us on Twitch to get access to our cute little wine glass emote. Or you guys can support us on Patreon to get access to stream cat pictures not even our mom gets to see. And if enough of you guys help us out there, then we can afford some transcripts for our episodes.
Some fancy
for people who are
transcripts.
Hard of hearing. So
like us.
Yeah. So, as a reminder, I'm Risa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. And we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.